And hello there. Let's keep your week rolling just right with the right mix of news and conversation. Whether you're catching us online, on TV, or on the radio, hop on and join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. Yes, we are simulcast on 94.7 BFM. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to
Beautiful Day! All right, so we are now in a new platform as well. Hindi lang radyo, hindi lang online, hindi lang TV. I believe we are now also on TCL Smart TV.
Yes, oh my goodness. And I think it's a first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, way to go, BNC.
So I believe we're already in Samsung.
Yes.
And now we're also in TCL. In other words, there is no reason for you not to watch us. We cannot wait to hear more from you as well. And of course, as much as we are now, it feels like everywhere. You're also invited to join us online because, of course, Anne is still on.
Yes, please join us. Facebook and YouTube, we are there live. There's a comment section where you can type away everything, your comments, your messages, your questions for our guests later on. Or if you want to answer our what do you call this? Our question that we always throw to our guests on the show. What makes your day beautiful? We want to know. You can let us know through Facebook and on YouTube.
Yes.
And aside from us being simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM, we are also on their Facebook page. So there are really so many ways to get in touch with us today.
Oh, whether you like it or not. We're going to be there.
We're
all right?
everywhere.
We're going to be there for you, of course. And again, that's a wonderful question that we love asking our guests, and because you are our guests as well. But speaking of guests, we have how can I say this? A very motivational guest here today later on.
I am excited to talk to her because our topic later it's pretty interesting. It's called quiet quitting among the younger generation, particularly the Gen Zs.
Quiet quitting.
We were talking about this yesterday, right? Because for me, I feel like it's a generation thing because the way the older generation look at work, parang we're okay to do go the extra mile and do whatever it is that's beyond our job description. Ganun sa older generation, but now for the Gen Zs and the younger crowd, it's a totally different approach for them. So later on, we will be talking about that.
I know. Ako naman, I mean, like, we were talking about this, and I think this is why it'll be so nice talking to si Miss Sha Nacino. She'll be our guest later on, is because ako naman yung thought ko, like, kung hindi mo naman trabaho, why would you go the extra mile?
Yeah.
Kung hindi ka babayaran ng extra, diba?
Yeah.
So it's more of, for me at least, I wouldn't consider that quiet quitting as much, pero I would also say, sa generation natin, kapag nag-quit tayo, maingay tayo. Like,
maybe.
Like you don't just do the quote-unquote expected or bare minimum.
Yeah, because another definition of quiet quitting is you're still there, but your heart is not in it anymore. Kumbaga parang you've mentally quit.
Checked out. Yeah,
diba?
You mentally checked out.
Yeah.
And ako personally, I don't mind that. As long as nagawa yung trabaho ninyo. But again, we're gonna discuss that later on. Later on, we also have a Weather HQ guest via Zoom once again to talk about coffee. Pero specifically coffee based in, rather made in Mindanao.
Mindanao.
Yes. So very interesting. Again, Mindanao actually is known for being good producers of coffee. Again, there is still a big lack of suppliers in terms of coffee dito sa Pilipinas, and let's see whether or not we can bridge that gap or maybe have a deeper appreciation for Mindanao-based coffee later on. But we also have Coach V coming on later on.
Yes. Another interesting topic. We're talking about girl code and boy code when it comes to love and relationships and dating.
Ano mo yung bro code, girl code na? Marami napapaaway dun eh. Like friendships, may mga nasisira talaga.
Yeah, because there's like an unspoken rule that you cannot date your ex. So later, we're going to find out through Coach V if this is, still being followed.
Okay, wait,
right?
we clarify that. You cannot date the ex of
your friend. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Sama nun, sorry.
I did a bit of reading. Tapos kasama pala sa girl code and boy code, hindi lang the ex of your friend, but also the crush of your friend.
Yeah, if you're in high school.
So-
No,
No, but if your friend likes someone, parang hindi mo pwedeng, pursue yung person din na yun.
paano kung pinarsukan ng crush ng friend
Paano
mo?
pag ikaw pala yung type, di ba?
Oo,
Not
diba?
the friend.
Nako.
What a dilemma.
Ano mo the dilemma? Let it go.
Feeling ko ganun yung mga na-experience ni Paolo na problems. Yung mga pogi problems.
Excuse me. Excuse
Paolo
me.
nakaka-experience
Alam
yan
mo,
eh.
I am so respectful sa mga code na
Yes,
yan.
you are. I did not say naman na you're being disrespectful. I'm just saying that maybe you experienced that, kind
Alam
of
mo,
situation.
we're gonna find
where-
out more about it later on.
Hashtag
kung sino.
pogi problems.
But you know what? The funny thing is, ito naman si Angie never answers the questions we ask her sa
You know
Love
what?
Hacks.
We already have someone greeting us on YouTube.
Grabe siya mag-move on. Matututo talaga sa
Teka
akin.
lang! Makinig ka! Edwin Galvez says,
Yes.
Beautiful day, Ann and Paolo. Your jovial vibe is infectious every day. Have a great
Aw.
day to all. Wow! That is such a nice message. Thank you so much, Edwin.
I hope other people feel the same way as well. Pero
hope
Edwin,
so.
maraming salamat.
Yeah,
We hope
yay.
you really
Heart,
enjoy the show
Edwin.
and stay with us all throughout. Again, just so many things to watch out for in today's show.
Yes, so join us for the next hour and a half as we give you an interesting show with our guests later on and, of course, our headlines for this morning. First up, traffic. Let's check the situation in major roads at this hour. Here's a look now at EDSA Orense in Makati. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Pasay City. Light traffic on that stretch. Opposite lane, same situation. Everything green and go. Right side are the vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. Now this time, let's take a look at what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue in flyover. So both lanes already looking very busy. Left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Quiapo. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that lane. Opposite side, same situation. Moderate to heavy traffic. Those are the vehicles heading to Quezon Memorial Circle. Now, heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Wednesday today, guys. So vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now let's go find out what the weather will be like this Wednesday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Ann. Let's take a look at the local weather. Well, the rainy weather is back in many parts of the country. As we can see, there are two weather systems that are currently influencing the weather conditions here in the Philippines. Now, as of 3 a.m., the low pressure area that we were monitoring was last located 550 kilometers east of Infanta in Quezon. So it's right over here. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon continues to affect Mindanao and the western sections of southern Luzon and Visayas. So southwest monsoon coming in right over here with the LPA approaching the Philippines now at 550 kilometers east of Infanta in Quezon. Now, let's take a look at what's happening first in Luzon. The low pressure area will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms to the Cagayan Valley, Aurora, Quezon, the Bicol region, Marinduque, and Romblon. Now, Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. Usually, you can experience this late in the afternoon or in the evening. Now, to our motorists, please drive safely. Roads may be slippery, especially during and after rain showers. Now, over in Palawan, as we zoom in on that, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and, of course, thunderstorms as well. This is all brought about by the southwest monsoon. So we'll actually move on over here just so you can see what's happening in the Visayas region as well. Because in the western part of Visayas, particularly in the Negros Island region, the southwest monsoon will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms as well. While in the eastern section of the region, including northern Samar, eastern Samar, Biliran, and Leyte, cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected and likely due to the LPA. Now, the rest of Visayas will enjoy generally fair weather, but still the chances of isolated rain showers stay all throughout in the day, especially later on. Now, for those commuters and students, don't forget your umbrellas and non-slip shoes. Leave early to avoid getting stuck in sudden downpours. Let's go down south. In Mindanao, the southwest monsoon is affecting the Zamboanga Peninsula, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, Sultan Kudarat, and Sarangani. Now, this brings cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms all throughout as well. Now, the rest of Mindanao, you can still see the occasional isolated rain showers, especially in the afternoon or in the evening. Now, for farmers and outdoor workers, make sure you keep an eye on the sky and be ready to pause work, especially during lightning when there are heavy rains. Now, we mentioned the LPA a while ago. Let's take a closer look at that. Now, it is currently inside the Philippine Air Responsibility, and currently it is bringing clouds and rain to many parts in the country, especially over the western sections that we mentioned a while ago. However, according to Pagasa, this LPA has a low chance of developing into a tropical cyclone within the next 24 hours. Now, even if we're not dealing with a storm just yet, make sure you keep your umbrellas handy as it continues to enhance rainfall in some areas and monitor updates for any changes. Now, as for sea conditions, there are no gale warnings that have been issued, as most coastal waters are expected to be calm to moderate, making it generally safe for small to medium vessels to travel. Now, still, even with favorable conditions, stay vigilant, monitor weather reports, and always put safety first, especially when heading out to sea. That is it for Weather HQ at the moment, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now on to our headlines this morning. President Bongbong Marcos is furious over corruption that's eating up government funds intended for infrastructure projects, leaving ordinary Filipinos to suffer. After threatening action against budget insertions for ghost flood control projects, he is now challenging contractors and their co-conspirators, saying they know who they are. The president admitted that some names are already in the government's hands and promised to press charges against anyone who cannot explain where the money went.
And the worst part of this all, yung napupunta, kuminsan yung mga project na hindi maganda, napupunta sa unappropriated. Ano yun? Utang yun. Nangungutang tayo para mangurakot itong mga ito. Sobra na yun. Sobra na yun.
Moving on, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee wants to investigate why some DPWH officials were promoted instead of being held accountable following the collapse of the Cabagan Santa Maria Bridge in Isabela. Senators question why only the contractor and truck driver were blamed, while government officials who oversaw the project remained untouched. Senator Jinggoy Estrada named the promoted officials as follows: Assistant Secretaries Loretta Malaluan and Mary Bueno, and Undersecretaries Eugenio Pipo Jr., Ador Canlas, and Maria Catalina Cabral. Meanwhile, Senator Joel Villanueva raises concerns about the official explanation for the collapse.
Based on records, mali po yung sinasabi ng mga taga-DPWH na overloading ang main cause ng collapse. Kasi dun sa records, technical reports, and yung timeline of events na sinabmit po dito sa Senado during the hearing, napakalinaw pa po sa sikat ng araw na hindi po ito isang aksidente dahil ito po ay preventable disaster born of negligence, oversight failures, and a lack of will to act when it mattered.
Well, this was viral news, and of course, we were talking a lot about accountability just yesterday when it comes to public officials, government officials, and the point that they were making, talking about yung mga senators natin, is that the government officials who were part of the collapsed bridge, not necessarily being held up to the fire, or rather,
they were promoted.
Yes, and accountable. In fact, you made a mistake and there's a promotion there.
Yeah.
And that's the type of accountability I believe that more people are going for, especially after what we saw in Sona, what happened with the Hanging Habagat just a couple of weeks ago. And of course, any infrastructure project, it feels like it's under more scrutiny right now, considering yung mga recent events.
Senator Joel Villanueva was even saying that this bridge was actually retrofitted 3 times before it collapsed, and government funds were used to retrofit the bridge 3 times. So he was saying that the contractors should be responsible, or the ones who should be shelling out money for the retrofitting. And it wasn't even retrofitted. I mean, the bridge was still new and they retrofitted it.
Yeah.
Because usually that happens when the bridge has been used several times already.
Yeah, it still has not really. Well, it did not prevent what happened.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah.
So again, who were held accountable was a contractor and the truck driver. Government officials remained untouched. In fact, promoted according to all of the senators involved. Senator Jinggoy Estrada named them as well. Let's see whether or not mag-develop pa to.
I like it that it's now coming out in the open. All these ghost projects, failed projects, who's responsible, right? There's transparency being practiced here now.
Yeah.
And there are a lot more revelations like this one. Senator Risa Hontiveros said in her privileged speech yesterday that the GSIS has allegedly invested 1 billion pesos in an online gambling platform. E-gambling platform DigiPlus is the supposed recipient of the government funds, with the shares bought at 65 pesos per piece, which have since dropped to 13 pesos. Hontiveros asks her fellow senators to look into the matter, as it could only be the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, again, we talk a lot about the accountability. And of
Yes.
course, this still has to be proven. That's why we have to mention allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
But of course, that is the type of accountability that we're hoping that can be, brought out more and more. But at the same time, rin, we also have to be careful of yung mga witch hunt dun. When I mean mga witch hunt, you have to be careful also of, pursuing probably the wrong culprit when it comes to certain projects, or maybe burying the lead when it comes to what really is a problem with a certain aspect of whatever we're discussing, whether it be infrastructure, whether it be how the government funds are being dispersed as well.
We really need a thorough investigation on
100%.
this, and of course we'll be following updates on this matter.
Yeah, and of course, I like this next one we're going to be talking about, because this is so interesting, especially for those prospective car owners. Because here, with sweeping street parking bans being considered by the DILG and the MMDA, the Philippines' largest auto club says policies like this should have more thorough planning. President of the Automobile Association Philippines, Joe Ferreria, says such a policy is impractical, much like the quote, no garage, no car policy. He says many Filipinos dream of owning a car, with almost 500,000 being sold every year. Ferreria proposes that the government look to the example of neighboring countries for solutions, such as in Japan, where the government set up an automated parking building with the help of the private sector. Again, parking an issue for some, and no garage, no car policy has been thrown around as a proposal. I would also say, dapat yung mga motorcycles din. Kapag yung mga parking nila. Diba? Yung
So
mga,
this is still an
yung
issue.
mga gumagamit, yung mga malalaking bike na gumagamit ng isang slot ng pangkotse, kahit, doesn't use all the space. I'm just saying.
Pero kasi, you know what? I feel like I'm so for this policy that, I don't think will be approved. No garage, no car policy.
Yeah,
I feel like if wala ka namang mapapag-parkingan ng car mo, then stop buying cars.
Yeah, well, the Automobile Association of the Philippines says that it is an impractical policy.
It is.
Instead, they are pushing for policies like where in Japan, this example used, that the government will actually set up an automated parking building, and helping with the help of the private sector to try and see whether or not they can create storage spaces for these different cars.
Because now they want to implement the banning of street parking,
Yeah.
right? Which they want to include the side streets, yung mga maliliit na streets, right? So, but the problem is, where will we put these cars?
Especially
so we
mga
really
malalaking
need...
motorcycle.
Ano
diba?
ba yan? Issue?
I'm just saying.
Yes, cars and motorcycles alike. So we need space. So we need all these public
we do.
parking buildings,
We do.
right? Oo nga, like in Japan, they have a lot of those.
Yeah, they have a lot of those. They
Oo.
even have the ones where you you put your car in, then iikot siya. Parang,
Yeah.
yung
Or
parang
aakit siyang ganon and then the
oo,
next
parang
one
Ferris
here.
wheel.
Yeah.
Nakatakot kaya yan. I don't know if I want to put my car there. But yeah, that's one of the things. Now, another thing that's been making the news is inflation, because inflation in the Philippines has continued to drop in July, reaching a record low of 0.9%. Now, this is the lowest in over 5 years. Now, the main driver was cheaper rice, which saw a negative 15.9% inflation, along with decreases in the price of corn, vegetables, and some dairy products. Electricity, LPG, and transport costs also fell, as well as gasoline prices. Now, despite the good news, the PSA warned that some prices like vegetables and oil could rise again in August. But inflation is expected to remain low through 2025.
Now in world news, U.S. President Donald Trump threatens to take over Washington, D.C. Trump tells the local government to keep its act together in curbing crime before the federal government steps in. He also suggests changing the law in D.C. to prosecute minors starting the age of 14. He said local youths and gang members as young as 14, 15, and 16 have painted the town red, knowing they will be immediately released. Now, an update on the investigation into the Titan submersible that imploded in 2023. A U.S. Coast Guard investigative report or investigative board concluded that inadequate design was a primary factor in its implosion that killed 5 people. The Titan was on a tourist expedition to the wreckage of the Titanic when it lost contact with its support vessel during descent. Investigators say the implosion was preventable and suggest a stronger oversight for exploring new concepts outside regulatory framework. Titan's operator, OceanGate, suspended operations after the incident. It has yet to release a comment on new developments.
Again, this is one of the things that I have to admit, as soon as it happened and all of these reports started coming out and all these explanations, it was one of the things that have become a bit of a rabbit hole for me. Once you start researching about it and reading more about it, the dominoes that caused this to happen, like, it blows your mind, because the materials were substandard.
Yes.
They avoided a lot of oversight.
Yeah.
The remote control or the control system inside the submarine was a gaming controller. A gamepad.
Diba they did like an investigative show on that, showing the inside, how it was made, the materials nga, like you've mentioned. It's crazy. It looks like something that, parang makikita mo lang in a carnival.
Yeah, it was made from carbon fiber, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and it was a brittle material, and it's just like, look, I mean, like, we're seeing footage of it here, and it's very unfortunate, to be quite frank. But then, if you are getting in a submarine, I would suggest you double, triple check
Exactly.
every safety feature when it comes to getting in
But
that vehicle.
But
Look
the
at that.
CEO of OceanGate was there,
Yeah.
and he was confident.
He was the one controlling it.
Yeah, and he was very confident that his submarine would withstand the pressure once it's down there.
I think standards and regulations are there for a purpose, and OceanGate did. I mean, like, this is for anything, to be quite honest. OceanGate did not follow majority, if not all, of the regulations, and were not checked for safety. And unfortunately, what happened. So excited to find out more about this in general.
Right.
But obviously, our commiserations to those affected by this. Now, moving on to sports. And of course, I'd like to say maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanood kanina, mga nagpuyat kanina for Gilas Pilipinas. Fortunately, the result not going their way, as Gilas Pilipinas got their FIBA Asia Cup campaign off to a losing start after losing their opening game against Chinese Taipei 95-87 in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Chinese Taipei gets off to a hot start, blasting the Philippine national team 27-16 in the first quarter alone. But the Philippines did improve for the remainder of the contest. Chinese Taipei's performance from both beyond the arc and the free throw line were too much to overcome. Chinese Taipei's Chen Ying-chun finishes the game with a game high of 34 points, of 6 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc. while as a team, Chinese Taipei sunk 27 out of 35 charities. Gilas were top scored by Justin Brownlee, who notched 19 but fouled out midway through the fourth quarter. Kevin Cambao also had a notable 17 markers in only 16 minutes of playing time. Gilas Pilipinas head coach Tim Cohn concedes the team's performance was subpar.
Obviously, we didn't play a very good one. Disappointed in the way we played. We got behind early in the game and just played on our heels the whole way. It was like we were in panic mode for 40 minutes. But if Chinese Taipei continues to play like they did and make the shots that they're making, then they can be one of the guys that gets a medal, without a doubt.
Gilas Pilipinas returns to action on Thursday, August 7 against New Zealand at 11 p.m. Manila time.
And here is our tea this morning. First cup of tea, Lady Gaga leads this year's MTV Video Music Awards nominations with a total of 2. In the running include Blackpink's Rosé, Sabrina Carpenter, Kendrick Lamar, and Ariana Grande. The 2025 VMAs air September 7, 5 p.m. Pacific time. It is a good year for Lady Gaga. 2025 is really...
Alongside with Rosé as well.
Yes, with Rosé, yeah.
And Rosé and Psy also actually had
Oh
a
yeah,
really good one.
I saw
They
that.
had a
Oh
really
my god,
good
that
one
was
also.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to all of those artists and of course their fans as well. I'm
Oh
sure.
my god, Psy does using that song, no? Nakakaantok naman siya in fairness.
Meow, 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 meow.
Sino ba nag-imbento ng meow 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 na yan?
Mga pusa, bakit?
It's all over TikTok. It drives me crazy. Sometimes it plays na nga in my head, like every time the Billie Eilish song plays, the meow meow version plays in my head.
Actually, I know nga the meow meow version more than the actual song. Sa totoo lang. But
Kasi
again,
mas madali siyang i-memorize.
Yeah, I mean, it's for all creatures, especially mga cats. Diba?
Well, hooray, Billie Eilish. There you go. Okay?
You might have
Ikaw
heard
yun.
of quiet quitting on social media.
Akala ko nag-quiet quit ka na on me eh.
Hindi. I just got so into the cat version of the Billie
Okay.
Eilish song. You might have heard of quiet quitting on social media. That's when employees are not engaged and do the bare minimum at work. Now, it's the exact opposite of the cultural trend that came before it, which is the, quote, hustle culture. Now, is there an antidote for the workforce or to this workforce backslide? We'll talk about it with motivational speaker Sha Nacino after the break. Don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. Now, the term quiet quitting emerged in 2022 from a TikTok user who described it as, quote, quitting the idea of going above and beyond at work. Now, this may not be a new phenomenon, but quiet quitting for the past few years has provided the mood for Gen Zs and Millennials who are clocking in at work but are emotionally checked out. Now, is this necessarily a bad thing? And if so, how can organizations address it? Let's talk about that in the Hangout. Now, we're joined today by motivational speaker Sha Nacino, who is one of the Global Guru's top 30 motivational speakers in the world. Number 18, if I'm not mistaken. She's also the host of the Fearless Possibilities podcast. Beautiful day, Sha Nacino. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Beautiful day to you, Pao and Anne. Good morning.
Okay, so this is a really interesting topic kasi we debated about this actually yesterday,
Yes.
because we have different approaches to things. But we have to start off first with siguro yung tamang basis. Ano nga ba ang quiet quitting? And what do you think of when you hear that term?
So, ang ganda ng description mo dun sa quiet quitting, emotionally checked out na yung employees. So, I did a lot of research and also work with organizations and leaders. And what I observed is that quiet quitting is a symptom of a greater issue. And that greater issue is what I call the workplace disconnection gap.
Okay.
There is a disconnection. So, there are, for example, employees, generally they want to feel safe, seen, and appreciated.
Right.
Okay.
And leaders, at the end of the day, of course, you still want to feel safe, seen, and appreciated, but at the end of the day, results, right? You want
Yes.
results. So there seems to be a tension between what employees want and what leaders need.
Okay.
Okay.
So for this particular conversation, we define employees as individual contributors.
Okay.
Leaders, people who lead a team or certain members of the organization. So when these needs are not met, they quietly quit. They disengage. So for example, let's say an employee prepared a report for 3 days, pinagpuyatan niya yun, and then she submits the report to the leader, and the leader checks the report and says, mali to, paki-correct. Kasi results, di ba? Ang dami-dami
Yeah.
yung pressure sa leader. So sa employee, feeling niya parang, hindi mo ako nakita. I'm not just an economic being. I'm also a person. I'm also a human being. Alam mo, pinagpuyatan ko yan. So they feel unseen. They feel invisible. They feel like they only care about my output. So may konting tampo, may konting disengagement na dun. And if this is not addressed, quietly, lumalaki siya,
Bumibitaw sila.
bumibitaw sila
Yeah.
until such a time na, okay, I'll just do the bare minimum so I won't be kicked out of my work. But I'll just, go to the office on time, just do the bare minimum. I won't contribute during meetings.
So their heart isn't in it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, they're mentally and emotionally disengaged from the company already.
Yes.
So you're saying, Sha, that this is rooting from lack of recognition.
Yes.
And not being appreciated.
Not being seen.
Not being
Exactly.
seen, not being appreciated at work. But why does it hit the younger generation? Kasi syempre, in an office, in a company, merong young ones, meron ding older
Yeah.
people, right? So why do these workplace gaps hit them harder, yung mga Gen Z, compared to the older groups?
Yes. So yung mga baby boomers, usually medyo na-associate kasi nila yung work nila sa worth nila.
Okay.
And if you observed, a lot of the baby boomers stayed in their job for maybe decades until they retired, right?
Yeah.
Now the younger generations, they value connection, they value their well-being, their mental health.
Okay.
And so, hindi na lang ngayon, work is not just a means for me to make money. Work is also a means for me to feel good about who I am, to feel that I matter.
Yeah. You know, we always talk about minsan may generation gap. Diba?
Yes.
Sometimes the bosses are typically the older generation. And is it a function of yung needs ng generation dati when they were workers? They have different needs to what the new generation has.
Right.
At yung disconnect na yun is where all of the quiet quitting happens, the misunderstanding, the loss of connection happens. Is that a fair assessment kung paano to nangyayari?
Yes, exactly. So, iba yung needs ng previous generations, ng baby boomers or sabihin na natin older generations, iba na yung need ng younger generations ngayon. So, what worked for the baby boomers may not necessarily work for millennials or Gen Zs.
Okay.
You'd be surprised, no? Akala, maybe a lot of employers would think that, oh, I'll just increase the salary. And maybe they will stay. But you'd be surprised. What they actually need would be recognition, like, what you did really mattered. For example, there's a leader that I coached. Actually, there were a couple of leaders that I coached. And they said, Sha, I led this particular project. ito millennials to, I led this particular project and our leader praised the entire team in front of the mancom. Pero asan akong gumawa ng project na yun. So it's very important not just to praise the team as a whole, but also to praise that person who led the project or who was in charge of the project.
Hindi ba, some people might say, playing devil's advocate here,
Yes.
na that type of mentality may onting pagka-entitled rin to approach it. How do you avoid that type of mentality, especially if you're the one feeling that emotion? How do you avoid that type of mentality that you're pushing na, yung recognition ko wala? It feels like it could be twisted, na magiging parang entitled siya.
Oo nga eh. Parang,
Oo.
actually, the older generation, sometimes that's how they describe the Gen Z employees.
Yeah, that's
They're
how
entitled.
Yes,
that's how
yes.
Anne describes
No,
me.
no, ha?
Oo.
Oh my God!
Sakit minsan eh. Sakit minsan talaga. Kaya nawala si, yung isang partner namin sumunik, umalis dahil sa kanya.
Oh my God! That is not true. Baka maniwala si Sha. Oh my God, that is not true. I'm just saying, diba? So how do we... Paolo!
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead,
That's a
Sha.
very good and valid point. Kasi totoo naman talaga na maraming sense of entitlement, especially sa younger generation, na I deserve this, I deserve that, and all. And it's also valid na they deserve recognition. They
Yeah.
deserve appreciation. So siguro, yung sense of entitlement is pag nasa extreme na what's in it for me na lang lahat ng tinatanong niya na, what's in it for me? Anong kulang na ginagawa ng company ko for me? Ganon. So, to address the sense of entitlement, it's very important for the company to have a culture of gratitude.
Okay.
Gratitude meaning, so appreciation goes both ways eh. Diba? So for those feeling entitled na, dapat I need the appreciation, I want to be recognized and all. How about you appreciating what you're already receiving from the company? And a lot of people miss that. So very important yung balance.
So how can the management detect this silent disengagement before it's too late? And how can they provide better working conditions, especially for the younger employees?
Yes, so may mga symptoms siya.
Okay.
For example, muted meetings. Let's say during meetings, no one is volunteering ideas. Or let's say there are some engagement activities that you do for the workplace, and people would say, do I need to join? Can I not join? Can I opt out? There is no excitement. There is no anticipation. So, yun yung mga signs na nag-quietly quit na sila. So now, how do you address this? Talk to the team and really listen.
Okay.
Really listen. Like, one of the things that I do with my little team is we have this gratitude circle. So every meeting, we start with what we're grateful for personally and professionally. So what this does is, number one, they feel listened to. Kasi syempre nag-share sila. Another is, it uplifts the energy in the room kasi you talk about what you're grateful for. And the third thing is, for the leader, you get a sense of what's important to your team, personally and professionally.
Okay.
When we take a look at the fact that, okay, quiet quitting does happen. Sometimes you have to be more observant siguro.
Yes.
From yung mga day-to-day ninyo to actually identify it and see it. Is there a way for it to be reversed? Or is it something na medyo inevitable na siya? If you're one of the leaders who are trying to reverse that and get them re-engaged, reinvested, what do you normally prescribe to get that happen?
Yes, there is a way to address quiet quitting, and I can share two.
Okay.
So number one is, I developed these 4 levels of human connection.
Okay.
The first level is the surface level. Kumusta? Anong lunch mo?
Okay.
The second level is supportive. What do you need from work? Do you need flexible schedule? So supportive. It's good, but it can still be transactional. The third level is what I call safe, or sa lingo ng mga researchers, psychologically safe environment. It's when you can say, I'm struggling with this, can you help me? Or I think I have a better idea.
Okay.
So yun yung safe. The highest level is what I call seen. Seen is when team members feel that they truly matter. Na nakikita talaga sila as a human being, not just as office workers.
Okay.
So a lot of status quo leaders operate at levels wherein the culture is at the surface and supportive levels. So we need fearless leaders who can create cultures wherein wherein the team members feel safe and seen.
Okay.
So yun yung isa. So check with your, parang as a leader, check, okay, what is the level of connection that I'm building in the team? Is it the surface, supportive, or is it the safe and seen levels? If your team members don't correct you, most likely wala pa kayo sa safe level because they're scared na masaktan yung ego mo.
Okay.
Yun. The other tool that I can share is the 3-1-1 method.
Okay.
So this is, for example, when you need to do difficult conversations, you need to correct a team member, nagkamali siya. So the tendency of the leader is, busy ako, dami kong gagawin, direct to the point. So now this is, this can be challenging because number one, direct to the point can be very harsh. Baka hindi matake kaagad ng employee. The second thing is, it won't give you the gift of the pause. So what I would recommend is the 3-1-1. So 3 means 3 appreciations first. What do I appreciate about this team member? So when you do that, it helps you to pause and look at your team member as a human being. So mapapaisip ka talaga, ano ba? Parang wala naman. Pero for sure meron. So mag-isip ka talaga. the 3 and then 1 is the correction. And then end it with 1 offer for support.
Okay.
So ask, okay, what help do you need para magawa ng maayos tong report na to?
Do you think, Sha, this is just a change in generational viewpoint? While yung older generation, they find this mindset lazy or what was the term that you used?
Because it feels that the generations look at the same thing differently.
Yeah, and the
Oo,
younger ones, they
different lens.
say it's
Yeah.
just setting boundaries. So do you think
Oo.
it's just like a generational viewpoint?
It
issue?
could be, but actually, we're all human beings. We all have the same needs. So according to this Ivy League professor, Isaac Pileltensky, we have 2 basic needs: the need to feel valued and to add value. So yung feel valued, andun pa rin yung need na yun for the baby boomers. Kaya lang may mas pressing need to provide for the family and wala masyadong options nung time na yun. Ito yung work ko, I need to do my job well kasi if not, baka makick out ako, mahirapang maghanap ng bagong work. Now with the younger generation, there are a lot of options.
Yeah.
If you don't get employed, you can be a content creator. Ang dami mong pwedeng gawin.
Yeah.
So, madami silang options. Now, yung survival na need na, I need to have this job, pwedeng pwedeng, I have another way to make money, make a living. And so, nabibigyan na nila ng time yung, I need to feel seen. I need to feel valued. I need to feel that I matter. I'm adding value to the company as well.
Is there a way, I'm so sorry, Anna, I interrupted you,
okay.
pero is there a way to siguro meet halfway? Kasi there are some leaders who are of an older generation or at least a more old school yung mentality who would be open to it but only to a certain degree considering that iba yung experiences nila, iba yung method nila of being successful in leading. Is there a way to meet halfway considering yung mga requirements and needs of a certain generation?
Yeah, definitely. So the key really is to listen because sometimes our preconceived notions about the younger generation may not be really accurate to what their needs are. And also, let's say you're a leader and you lead baby boomers, Gen Zs and Millennials alike. So the way to treat them would be their needs may be different. Their needs may be different. Of course, there's that bottom line need. They need to feel seen and appreciated, feel valued and add value. But for example, sa baby boomer, maybe ang good job okay na sa kanya.
Yeah.
Okay na sa kanya. Maybe for the millennial, maybe, chocolate gusto mo. And ang say na niya doon. So, iba-iba talaga. So, little things, you would be surprised. Little things lang talaga. I'm not sure if we have more time, but I have a story in the workplace wherein the leader turned around the entire department in just 1 month. So yung years na ganito yung performance, na turn around niya in just a month, just by listening. and acting on it.
So you really just have to know what your employees need.
Yes.
Yeah, and iba-iba yon per generation.
And it feels
right?
like-
So you
Yes.
just have to understand what
Yeah.
what they need to find their mojo again, find motivation
Yeah,
again.
and
right?
it really feels
Exactly.
like communication's key.
Yes.
The
yes.
whole, the
Yeah.
constant talking and discovering what someone needs
Mm-hmm.
is going to be key, especially if you are in a setting na multi-generational.
Oo.
Yung
Yes.
grupo namin dati multi-generational eh. Scene nga yung isa, pero sa evening na lang, hindi na sa umaga.
And I guess kindness and understanding in the workplace matter.
Exactly.
They matter
Yes.
as well, right? Yeah. Oh, I wish we had more time.
Yeah, I
This
wish
is
we did
a great
also.
topic to talk about. We still have a lot of questions for you, Sha. But before we go, first, where can they get in touch with you if they want to ask questions?
Yeah.
So I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. Sha Nacino.
Okay.
Yes. Or you can go to my website, shanacino.com.
And of course, the show is called Beautiful Day. What makes your day beautiful, Sha?
Seeing you guys.
So may
Thank
guesting ka
you
ulit
so
dito.
much.
Siguro,
Oo.
very soon. Yeah.
This should be
Yes.
like a weekly thing.
My latest book will be out in September. So maybe we can...
Ayun.
Yeah, we can talk
We
about
can have
that.
another-
Yeah.
Sige,
Another
let's talk
session
about
with Sha.
let's talk about that as it nears or when it comes
Yes.
out. But congratulations on the
Thank
book in advance.
you.
And
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Pao and
coming.
Ann. Thank you for having me.
All right, that was motivational speaker Sha Nacino. Thank you so much for joining us. And when we return, we have something brewing for you because after the break, we'll brew up a conversation with a coffee expert who knows exactly why Mindanao's beans are making waves in Southeast Asia. Stay with us. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, good coffee isn't just brewed, it's grown, crafted, and carries a story of a place and its people. Now, coffees from Davao del Sur, Sultan Kudarat will represent the Philippines in the Southeast Asia Green Coffee Competition this October, proving that from Mount Apo to Mindanao's hinterlands, we're brewing something world-class. To tell us more, joining us via Zoom is Dot Mediano, a certified Q Arabica grader and chairperson of the Specialty Coffee Depot. Good morning, Dot, and thank you so much for joining us here on Beautiful Day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paolo, and thank you for having me here as well. So yeah, very excited to be here.
First of
Very
all-
glad as well.
First of all, congratulations on a successful selection round for the CGCC. Let's start off first with what makes this Southeast Asia Green Coffee Competition special. What is it all about when we talk about green coffee in particular? And of course, how would it actually benefit yung mga Filipino coffee farmers natin?
Yes. So Southeast Asia Green Coffee Competition. So first of all, it's not just a contest, but it's also a platform for us to celebrate the coffees in our region, and while honoring the people who grow them, who are our farmers, our producers. And it's also an opportunity for our beloved farmers to receive recognition, feedback, and access to markets, both here in the Philippines and internationally. And actually, Sea Green is one of the cornerstone activities of the International Coffee Innovation Summit. And its primary purpose is to really promote Southeast Asia as a producer of high quality coffee. And winning coffees will go on a world tour, particularly to coffee consuming countries, to showcase the richness and potential of our regional origins. So
When we talk about Southeast Asia, especially here in the region, normally
iniisip ng mga ibang tao na Java, Indonesia, very great with their coffee. Vietnam, very distinctive with their coffee. But here, dito sa Pilipinas, Mindanao in particular has been one of the stars in terms of coffee production. In fact, in particular itong sa Davao del Sur, if I'm not mistaken, 8 out of the top 10 Arabica entries came from Bansalan, particularly Sitio Balutakay. What's the secret behind that? And of course, what is in the soil there that makes things unique?
So the whole country is really blessed with a wonderful land. So we are included in the coffee bean belt,
Yeah.
or the coffee belt. So I believe it's really the strong network of our trained and experienced farmers, and lots of entities, or like quality focused cooperatives, and access to supports from like us and the FCI, or the Filipino Coffee Institute, and that, along with natural advantages of altitude, soil, water resources, I think that gives Mount Apo the edge in both quality and quantity of submissions.
Yeah, you mentioned it a while ago, yung soil niya, the volcanic soil in particular, I'm sure has a big effect on it. The mountain weather, it has a unique flavor, a unique shape. Of course, when we look at yung characteristics ng Philippine coffee, would you say that in general, there is something about Philippine coffee that talagang medyo unique compared to our neighbors here in the region?
Yes, because like for example in Mount Apo, so I think it's just 20 to 30 kilometers away from Mount Apo Peak. So what's unique about Mount Apo is that the soil is, again, it's volcanic, so it has andesol, so it's rich in iron and magnesium, and also with potassium, with boron. So basically the soil is really nutrient rich, and the roots of the coffee tree is able to penetrate, and also the drainage is also really good. But more than the nature, the environment,
Yeah.
it's really, so our producers, our farmers, they've been here for a long time, from one generation to another, and doing experiments, innovation, and there's that convergence of tradition and innovation. So their parents, they practice this sorting, this processing, and then the new generations, like I know, like John Lawrence and Lizelle and Rina, these are young farmers and producers who are really into research, and thank God we have the internet these days, and YouTube. So yeah, combine that with the land, it's really special and exciting times for Philippine coffees.
I know you're an Arabica grader, but I want to talk about yung Robusta naman, because on the Robusta side of things, Sultan Kudarat swept 7 out of the top 10. Now, that province in particular has a specialty grade Robusta. What makes Sultan Kudarat special in terms of coffee production?
It's again, it's also the farmers, like Rejan Basco is also very young, like I think in his early 20s. So they're doing this research and experiments, and just in fact, in the latest IQ Brewing, Amir Lim used Robusta coffee and won as national champion, because the Robusta before, Robusta is just like known for its like bold bitter flavors, but
Yeah.
now you can like taste fruity flavors, and has more complexities. So Sultan Kudarat is really doing successfully when it comes to processing Robusta beans. So yeah.
Dot, we actually did some more research on the work that you've done, and of course, talking about this coffee. Some of the quotes that you used here were, quote, thoughtfully grown and full of character. When we talk about those particular statements, when it comes to yung proseso, the beans, even the farmers, and those who are really promoting all of this, just what makes you say those words in particular? Is there any particular story that really sticks with you when you use these types of descriptions?
So, because when we evaluate coffee, uh, there are different kinds of attributes that we have to consider, like fragrance, aroma, flavor, body, and aftertaste. Now, what makes our Philippine coffees really special is that we have fruity notes. Like for example, in Mount Apple, you can taste not only like two fruits, but like three to five or more uh, flavors. Like you can now taste because also of the new processing and the new experimentations. You can now before it's just like citrus and then black tea, but because of innovation, right now you can taste like uh, tropical fruits, mango, pineapple, um, cantaloupe even, and berries, then with black tea or chocolate and nuts, nutty aftertaste. So that with all those flavors, so the more flavors, the more complex the cup is, and yeah, that's really what makes our local coffees these days very special. And also, you can, if you observe per year, the scores of our local coffees are increasing.
Yeah.
So, so that's backed by numbers also. So it means that indeed the quality of our coffee is also increasing.
I don't think there's a question about the quality of our coffee in general, especially with
Yeah.
competitions like this, highlighting that as well. One of the most surprising numbers that I love bring up when we talk to anyone in the coffee industry is the fact that yung supply that we are producing here in the Philippines is, well, it falls very well short of yung demand of coffee here in the Philippines. When we talk about actually promoting local coffee growing and of course the art and the craft when it comes to that, how can we encourage the wider public to throw more support to our local coffee growers and of course encourage our local coffee growers to even do more and take care of them as we try to meet that rising demand dito sa Pilipinas?
So I believe that it starts with really understanding that supporting local coffee is not just supporting local products, but you are actually supporting a family, a journey of a man or a woman passionately tending his or her land. So I think that that's really like you're supporting our farmers, and while you're supporting them, they make profits, and from their profits, they use this for further research, for experimentation. So yeah, I think that for me that's really the what makes me support local coffees even more is the story and the hard work and of our local farmers. So it's their stories, really supporting their stories, their narrative, their journey.
Dot, we really appreciate you sharing more about our local coffee and hopefully they do well in the future competitions as well. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have, Dot. But before I let you go, just out of really curiosity, how much coffee have you had today before the show?
Oh, I have three already. This is my third cup.
Perfect. Dot, maraming salamat as Doc Mediano. Thank you so much again for sharing. Best of luck to our homegrown coffees and farmers as well at the Southeast Asia Green Coffee Competition this October. Maraming salamat, Dot.
Thank you so much, Paolo.
I've only had 2 cups today. Medyo kulang pa ako. That's it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
All right, thank you, Pao. Now it's time for us to find out what the stars have in store for us today. Let's hear it from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo, feng shui expert, Master Hans Kua. Ito ang horoscope for Wednesday, August 6. Simulan natin sa Year of the Rat. Iwasan ang love triangle. Huwag hayaang humabol ang karmic baggage na dala ng ghost man. Red at 3. Kay Ox naman tayo, huwag matakot magsabi ng totoo. Mas mahirap kang kapag pinilit mong panatiliin ang kasinungalingan. Gold at 7. Kay of the Tiger, may mga relasyon na hanggang alala na lang. Bitawan bago sumablay ang espiritu na ligalig. White at 5. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, tiyaking updated ang record at files. Baka kailangan agad yan. Pink at 6. Kay Year of the Dragon naman tayo mag-stretch tuwing break sa trabaho. Iwas, back pain. Silver at 1. Kay Year of the Snake naman tayo, kung ikaw lang ang nagmamahal, panahon na para pakawalan ang sarili. Violet at 9. Ito naman, Kay of the Horse. Magandang araw para sa collaboration. Maayos ang daloy ng ideas. Green at 2. Sa Year of the Ship naman, baka ikaw lang ang tapat. Kung siya naman ay laging may palusot, huwag mo nang hintayin yan. Tan at 7. Kay Year of the Monkey, kapag walang label, walang kasiguraduhan, ayusin o iwan. Blue at 6. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, iwas magpautang ngayon, baka hindi na bumalik ang pera. White at 7. Kay Year of the Dog naman, magandang araw para isubmit ang proposal o pitch. White at 8. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, gawin na ang unang hakbang sa planong pagbabago sa trabaho. Green at 5. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua, your Bilyonaryo Feng Shui expert.
Thank you as always, Master Hans Kua. And you know what? There are so many people joining us on Facebook and YouTube and on Mellow 94.7 BFM as well. But kanina we said hi to Edwin Galvez, right?
Yes.
And he replied, he said, yes, Ann and Paolo, your show has the right mix of interesting topics that keep me glued to my YouTube screen. Congratulations to both of you and the team behind the show. Keep it up.
Thank you so
Wow,
much.
thank you so much. That is such a nice message. We really appreciate you, Edwin. Thank you. And before anything else, let's say happy second birthday to Athena Claire. That's Kay's niece.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
pinsan ni Yang Yang. So happy birthday, little girl. Nanonood sila sa atin. O,
Second-
diba?
How old?
We have 2-year-olds watching the show.
2-year-olds
I
watching the
love
show.
it.
Buti na lang, love hacks yung susunod. Baka may magamit silang advice moving forward.
I have a question for you, Pao. Would you date a friend's ex?
No.
Bilis ng sagot.
No, I would not unless there was explicit permission or nag-usap ng maayos. Kasi syempre, ayaw mong maging ahas na kaibigan.
Even
diba?
if they've dated,
Diba, boys?
even if the last time they were together many years ago na.
Again,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
we'll talk about that later kasi nanggalit na yung prod natin eh. Si Kels galit na.
So after the break, guys, we're gonna ask dating coach V if the bro code and girl code still matter today and
Yes.
how. Stay tuned for Love Hacks.
That's
Don't go
it.
away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. Bro code and girl code are two of the holiest commandments next to thou shalt not steal. But these unspoken rules have over the time gotten lost in translation. Now, what's the real deal and do they really matter in the first place? Let's talk about that on Love Hacks.
Love hacks, we got you. No need to be sad.
Beautiful day, Coach V!
Beautiful day, Ann and Pao.
Naninibago ako sa bangs ni Coach V today. Doon na pupunta yung eyes ko pag when I look at your face, like, doon agad sa bangs.
Alright.
Sure.
Pero yeah, okay. I had to say that kasi talaga, when I look at you, parang, uy, the bangs. She's
Yung
very
bangs talaga,
bangsy
masyado.
today. Yeah. Dapat may bangs code din. No?
Yeah.
If there's a girl
Good thing
code,
wala siya sa girl code natin, my loves.
Yes.
Na bawal dapat parehong mag-bangs. Ganyan. Kala mo ba ako lang may bangs?
Pareho tayong may bangs. So anyway, we're talking about girl code, bro code. The golden rule is, well, at least in dating and relationships, don't date a friend's ex. So what
Absolutely.
does this rule really mean? And does it still apply to this day and age?
So, once somebody has been on your friend's bed, that is the rule that you don't keep them in your arms. So, kahit gaano pa katagal yan, maybe it has been 10 years back, maybe their breakup was not good, because it's not about the current relationship, it's about the emotional history that they've shared.
I like how nag-zoom in yung camera ulit sa akin as if I would break the bro code. I have not. I have never
Really?
thought about it. Oo. Kasi, is there ways though to... So again, some people like, kailangan may konting permission muna, mag-usap muna with the person, your friend involved, who used to be involved with that person. Do you feel that is a necessary conversation kapag lumalabas yung topic na, ex ata nito?
Yes, yes. Well, especially when they say na, nagpaalam naman ako, bro. The truth is, just imagine if you hand somebody a knife, it doesn't mean that you can use it to stab me, right? Like, use it somewhere else, like cut a fruit or somewhere else, something else. So basically, it doesn't mean that I gave you the permission to court my ex, that I am totally okay with it. Sometimes they just don't want to look bitter. That's why they give the permission, but it doesn't really give the friend the key to do the courtship. Because just imagine, one point in their life, naisip nila na the one nila yun eh. Naisip nila na yun yung papakasalan nila. And then now, since they're not anymore in a relationship, it doesn't give us the permission to just like enter their love story that failed and then claim na ako na. Yung kaibigan niya na yung bagong the one niya. So it's just very complicated.
Kahit na, they broke up many years ago.
Yes.
So talagang dapat no.
Yes, because like first is there's 8 billion people in the world. Although I recognize that proximity breeds attraction.
Yeah.
Especially if you guys have been hanging out together. The more nakita mo, ay, ang bait niya pala, ang ganda niya pala. How I wish I was that person that she is with. But really, if you are willing to take that risk, then you are accepting that maybe one way or another, you're gonna break that friendship. And if you're okay with that, go for it.
I'm curious about yung mga situationals. When I mean mga situationals, like, are there instances na okay to date the ex without necessarily asking for permission? Like, for example, bad breakup. Yung kaibigan mo, siya yung nag-cheat. Diba? So you end up dating the person.
Parang ganyan
Sama nun, diba?
Parang ganyan yung kanta na If I Was the One, right?
Ha?
Nakakainis na. If I was the one who's loving you, baby. The only tears you'll cry will be tears of joy. Kasi nag-cheat yung friend niya. Was cheating on the girl. So parang sabi niya, if I was your boyfriend, I wouldn't hurt you. You'd only cry tears of joy. So paano pag ganong situation?
So, can I say, there's that Filipino term, no? It's called parang sinulot. Can you say that word? Like, it's like, okay, well, my friend did a good job. Let me do a good job for you. It's even worse than being in a relationship with them if the breakup was good. You know, if their breakup was good, then you could have that conversation that, it was a mutual decision that you don't want to be with each other. But when a cheating happened, it's probably one of them still wants to be with the other person. So you cannot tell for example, the girl that you're courting that, you know what, just be with me because I'm gonna do a better job than my friend. Isn't that not very friendly to say?
Yeah, I get that. That's true. But another thing, another situation that I wanted to talk about. In fact, when we talked about this yesterday, kasi, we really research these topics. Talaga, may debate talaga.
Tapos before the show, dinidiscuss talaga namin ni Paolo yan.
We're actually just,
I love that.
the entire show's a distraction until Love House. But when we,
thank
when we look at, what if, okay, hindi naman naging sila.
Yeah.
Parang type lang niya yung person.
Type lang. Pero
Yeah.
declare niya, uy, type ko to.
Like crush niya lang.
Crush niya lang.
That's so high school, no?
Yan yung sabi ko
Crush
eh. Sabi ko, sobrang high school yan eh. But, talaga may mga affected doon.
Correct. And this, yung effect nun is mas grabe kapag sa girls, di ba? For example, we're like super BFF and then you have a crush. And then eventually nalaman mo, yung
Yeah.
crush mo is naging kami.
Yeah.
Even
It's
if
more impactful pag sa girls.
pag sa babae.
Okay.
And the time here is nothing. She could have a crush with somebody during our elementary years, and if they end up together on our 30s, it would still have that same, maybe all this time, Anne, you have been looking at my crush. So it's really the trust factor in the friendship that you have to protect more than the label that you have with your current relationship. Nakakaano, no?
Oo, I'm so quiet kasi thinking like, wow, okay, did I ever do this in my lifetime?
Actually,
Diba?
because aminin ko, I don't have any experience in any of this that we've discussed so far.
Really?
I have not.
Why am I doubtful?
I don't know.
But you,
Where? See, pati si Direk Carrie, where?
No, seryoso. I have not had an experience where that's been the
Sige,
case.
all right.
Have you, Anne?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yun lang naman pala, hinihintay lang naman pala natin si Anne dito.
No, I
Okay.
have dated a friend's ex.
What happened?
Well, I guess,
Okay, all right.
no, it's really hard. Kasi parang, when you're in that situation, bakit may ganong sound effects? Nakakainis. When you're in that situation, I don't know, parang minsan when you're in love, you can't think straight.
Absolutely.
Diba? And then sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm willing to risk the friendship because I really like this person.
Maybe hindi naman kasi kayo talaga close nung
No, we
friend
are.
mo. Oh.
We are. We're barkada.
You guys were barkada.
Yeah, so but
We're
yeah, kasi,
barkada.
Okay.
kasi you're in love eh. So ang hirap, when you're in that situation, ang hirap to keep that girl code.
So
Correct.
in
And
love
yeah.
ba talaga kayo?
And then,
In love ba talaga kayo din? In love ba talaga kayo din?
pero it didn't work out.
It didn't work
Yeah, it didn't
out.
So,
work out in
hindi.
the end. But then we were, my friend and I, we became friends pa rin. Pero syempre, nagalit siya sa akin.
Syempre.
Yeah.
And you know what, Anne? The other friends who knew about what happened, the other girls, they'll be like, oh, wag niyong dadalhin yung boyfriend tsaka yung mga asawa niyo pagkasama si Anne. So yun actually, that's the bigger concept of girl codes.
So good, sorry Yun yung biggest
May
takeaway
ganun
ko.
reputation.
Because it's about the reputation, and it's about the trust that you've kind of betrayed our friend. What guarantee do I have that you're not gonna betray me? So may ganong factor.
Oh my
Sa
gosh.
mga girls. Ang laki-laki-laki talagang mga consideration. So if I were you, kapag meron pang ibang guy sa mundo, please pick the stranger more than your ex's friend.
You know what? It's easier said than done, ah. Kasi
Absolutely.
you can't really
Totoo, I
control
agree.
attraction.
Lalo
When
na
it
kapag
happens, it
nakikita mo lagi.
happens. Diba?
Totoo,
Yeah.
totoo.
So, hindi ba siya
Sure. But wait lang, I just want to move on from this.
Okay,
Okay.
sige, let us.
But I want to move on
Tayo
from
lang.
this. I want to ask one question before. Are you still friends with your friend who you betrayed?
I said nga, yeah. We're still
Okay.
friends.
Kala ko you're friends with the person that you went out with.
No, not anymore. Kasi nga,
bakit?
it didn't work out eh.
The question
Ano, the
here,
guy ba?
Yeah.
Wala na.
Pao,
Pero, but my friend, we're still friends.
The question here is, if we talk to your friend right now and if we ask her, friend, do you still trust Anne with your love life? Let's hear what she's gonna say. And by the way, this is not about Anne. This is about like the girls. Because whether it's Anne, whether it's me, whether it's with Miss Aileen, it's gonna be the same rule applies. It's really about the trust.
Actually, we have the friend on the line.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, ito pa. So I wanted to move on for that because I wanted to
Yes,
also
please.
talk about Anne, have you ever dated a sibling of a friend?
That's
Sibling
a
of a
good
friend.
question.
Parang crush lang.
Crush na.
Yeah, crush, but not really.
Pero
dating.
coach, paano
Hindi
yan?
nila ako type eh.
Sibling of a friend.
Yun. Kapag sibling of a friend naman, it's not as sensitive as if they were your friend's ex. So this is where you could ask for permission. And if your brother or if your friend says like, go ahead, you can court my sister, or you can you can be in a relationship with my brother, then mataas yung chance na maybe they're really okay with you. But just remember that if you enter a relationship with your friend's sibling, that whatever their family problem is, it's gonna be on your shoulder because you're not just friend with your, friend, but you're also in a relationship. So if you're happy with their family dynamics, you love their family, then go ahead by all means.
Feeling ko yung guys ang protective sa sisters
Yeah, no, I was
nila.
gonna say, I was gonna say
pag
that's
kuya,
the
it's so hard to ask for their
Absolutely.
permission.
Okay,
So
now,
pag sinabi niyang
Ikaw,
no,
kuya ka, di ba?
yeah, no, I'm super
So,
protective.
yeah,
Like my
okay.
sister's 15, I'm super protective. I remember the first time I felt that feeling.
talaga, may
Kasi-
nagpaalam sa'yo.
No, kasi no, this is actually such a worse story. Nung college ako, I had a classmate who kind of looked like me na babae. Sort of. We had same hair, whatever. Like, I don't, basta. And akala ng mga tao that she was my twin. That I had a twin sister. And someone asked me permission to date my sister. And at that time, my real sister was 3 years old. So sabi ko, bro! Sabi ko,
Bro, 3 years old
Bro!
pa, yung kapatid ko!
oo, no.
If you just knew.
I'm speaking about asking permission.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have something for the older demographic.
Okay, let's do it.
Anak ng kaibigan mo.
Anak ng
Oh my
oh
gosh.
No, seryoso yun.
Parang mahirap
It's happened
yun.
eh.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
hear about it.
So we're talking about, for example, magkumpare.
Yes.
50 years old na sila.
Yes.
Tapos yung anak ng kaibigan mo, mga
Baka
nasa
30.
30 or 25. Well,
Oh
you,
my gosh,
you
that
could
is
ask for
hard.
permission, but
Grabe yun, di ba?
yeah, you could ask for permission, but if your kumpare knows all your
Kalokohan. Yeah.
they're definitely not gonna say yes. So by all means, ask for permission, but don't get your hopes high up.
This is kind of like that Ryan Gosling movie with ano ba yun? With Emma Stone. And then Ryan Gosling kasi and the dad oh my god, I forgot it. It's
This is
in
a
my head.
great story.
Huh?
Okay, so we're gonna move on from that.
Sorry, nakinig ako bigla kay Kelsey kaya natigilan ako. But anyway, si Ryan Gosling and the dad of Emma Stone, they're friends. And alam niya, playboy tong si Ryan Gosling, ma-smooth sa girls. So, and then nag-date yung si Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Diba?
Yeah, so the dad was so against it. But the thing is, their relationship changed Ryan Gosling. So, now hindi na siya player. He's like, he really loves
But
this
So
you-
that's
girl.
the ano, no?
But you don't. It doesn't even have to be na, two older gentlemen. It could be like yung boss mo, ka-close mo, and then you want to date the daughter of yung boss na yun.
Gosh,
Like what
yes.
are
Oh
you going
gosh,
to do,
that's
diba?
hard.
Like there's a gap and maka-age kayo ng daughter. Like
Correct.
stuff. It could happen.
Absolutely.
Right? So-
And you will notice also, like for example, with celebrities, right? Mapapansin mo na, 10 years ago, ex ni ganito yan. Tapos ngayon, ex naman ng kaibigan. Sometimes it rotates.
Yeah.
Because you really couldn't blame
Sa
human
proximity.
beings. It's really the familiarity
Yeah.
that increases trust, and the proximity breeds attraction.
Yeah.
And so when they fall in love with your ex, or they fall in love with, your family, you can't blame them. But what you can do really is, if you see that they're really in love, just have that conversation and just be, these lines na, you know what? If something happens between your relationship, you know that our friendship will be affected. So put a little bit of boundaries and yung mga caution.
Yeah.
Then, if you trust your friend, then that means that you could also trust them with your family or your ex. Yeah.
And you know what, Coach? We have to wrap things
Woo,
up.
okay.
But I am super glad that we talked about trust because I trust Anne more now kasi she actually talked about her past today. Oo.
She brought it up,
She
which
brought
is
it up,
a
and
progress.
because of
Ngayon
that,
mo lang ako
we
pinagkakatiwalaan.
trust her more. Maraming salamat, Coach V. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Always
Coach
enjoy
V.
it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And that's a wrap on our show this Wednesday, August 6th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Remember, keep it cool and take it easy.
And thank you for trusting me. I'm Asis-Carilo. Have a great day ahead, and always remember to choose joy, spread kindness, and pack your own sunshine wherever you go. See you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
Beautiful Day!